Hello, everybody. Hello from LinkedIn land. I can't actually see your comments on LinkedIn, so I'm going to try to log into LinkedIn right now. But I highly recommend you guys come to the YouTube channel so we can actually see your comments. I see Mark Thamar. Hello, welcome. I see that you are on LinkedIn from Black Rose Family Shop. Come on over to YouTube, sir, right? So what is our topic for tonight for Level Up Circle TV? Where if you have Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more, you can actually see this episode on Team Replay. So tonight we're talking about how do we stay inclusive but still have standard of excellence. And let me actually kind of put a premise of what is happening with that. It's always lecture night for us on Sunday. So, welcome. My name is Dr. Constance Leland. I am your host at Level Up Circle TV. Sunday is mostly lecture TV, lecture day. And you're like, people, I don't want to be lectured. That's actually more of a conversation, really. It's something that I might have taught in universities, and I would like to share it with you guys. This topic actually is a little bit of a hybrid conversation. It actually stemmed from me watching and listening to audio rooms here on LinkedIn that already is actually going away by December 31st, 2024. I can't believe it. It's already almost done, right? So let me go ahead and actually do this. It's called Staying Inclusive While Maintaining a Standard of Excellence. Again, my name is Dr. Leland. First of all, let's understand what inclusivity means, right? What does that mean to you? And what actually does that mean, generally speaking? What does being inclusive means, right? Inclusivity is not just about diversity. This DEI conversation is like, oh, wow, you got to include everybody and you got to be from diverse background. And it actually means skills. It's about ensuring that everyone, regardless of your background, your identity, your experiences, you feel valued, respected, and have access to the same opportunities, right? It's about creating an environment where different perspectives are embraced and individuals can contribute in meaningful ways, right? You can disagree. You don't have to agree with everything that everyone is saying, but don't take it to a disrespectful conversation. I've always said this in many platforms. So, how do we understand what inclusivity means from a business perspective? Not perception, right? That becomes your own reality, but from a perspective of business. Removing barriers that exclude certain groups, right? Creating system that actively encourage participation from different voices. That's why I love audio rooms as well. Ensuring equal opportunities for growth and success. That literally is the general overview or the general gist of being inclusive. And I think some people have their own perception and it becomes their own reality instead of getting a perspective in terms of business. So that's the conversation we're having tonight. And what here at Level Up, what are we doing for our communities that we actually took it to the next level by giving freebies on our next anthology? So I cannot wait for you guys to make comments in there. Just put hashtag, I don't know what the hashtag should be. Just put Level Up Academy or Lua, just hashtag Lua, Lua, right? Now, establish a clear standards of excellence. How do we do that? To maintain that standard of excellence, we need to set clear and measurable goals. We need to encourage continuous improvement and development. That means when you're giving feedback, don't do the you did a good job, but don't do that. Just say, you know what, you did a great job here, Susanna. How about this? What are some of your thoughts? I think this area could be improved by this, showing people what your thought process are. You're not the one all be all. You're not the know it everything all, okay? So having your own perception of what could improve and then asking for their opinion, what are some of your thoughts you can add, actually is more productive conversation than having this is what you did well and not so much, right? You really putting the whole inclusive down. You're really saying you have better ideas than other people. And sometimes, even though your intentions are well intentioned, you kind of sometimes come off condescending. I have to watch that as well when I'm in classrooms, and I try to continuously improve the way I have conversations with my students or having that communications. When we provide the tools, the resources, and support for everyone to succeed at every capacity, regardless if you're an A student, a B student, a C student, and an F student, should have the same tools, right? Because it's really about motivation. What motivates you is not the same as what motivates me. So if we're all given the same tools, but you're still getting an F and I'm getting an A, it's not because it's not the classroom is not being inclusive. It's because your motivation is not within the classroom. So then, but at least you're given that opportunity for growth. And that is the standard of excellence. So support and develop everyone equally. One of the best ways to stay inclusive while maintaining that excellence is to ensure that every individual has access to the resource they need to perform at their best, whatever that means. This means offering mentorship, training programs, development opportunities that are tailored to their unique needs of their team members. Here's the thing. How do you know what your team needs are if you don't ask? All you're doing is always telling them what they are good and what they are doing bad. So, how do you know what your team members want if you don't ask, right? So, always ask what your team wants and needs, and then fire and adjust, is what my sister Susanna would say. Fire and adjust. I know it's a military conversation. I'm not even in military. I learned. So, foster a growth mindset. How do we do that? You guys have heard this so many times. It's actually blasé at this point. How do you actually foster a growth mindset? First of all, it's very crucial when it comes to balancing inclusivity and excellence. And I'm going to tell you a little story after this conversation. It's a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work, not shortcut, people. Encouraging this mindset that helps create an environment where people feel empowered to strive for excellence even if they face challenges. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, we should encourage people to view them as learning opportunities. That's where adversity comes from. You don't look at what didn't do well or what you didn't do well this year. You look at what did you learn from your adversity, right? Same thing for your employees. They know that they're supported in their growth, even if they make mistakes, because no one is perfect. So then, true to your core, when they do make mistakes, don't highlight it. Instead, help them, provide them support, provide them tools, so they're more likely to take risks next time and not feel chastised, right? Or rejected for that matter, or maybe they would lose their job if they just move the wrong way or breathe the wrong way or look a different in certain ways, but ultimately contribute at a high level when they feel connected within the organization. This is the queen of belonging, will tell you about that. Now, measure excellence inclusivity. How do you do that inclusively, right? Here's my little story. I hear a lot on audio rooms, people being called a doctor when they're not. I heard people being called an expert. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But from what the way they have communicated, their thought process, I wouldn't say I can't learn from them, but not yet, based on the way they give advice. I listen very carefully, especially the middle nuances and their thought and their perspective. I had a conversation with my sister with this one today, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I might have a newsletter with it. I don't know. But here's the thing. For someone to be called a doctor, you need to have that discipline. I don't care how experienced you are. I don't care how smart you are. That is earned. That is not given, right? I worked so damn hard in the middle of my in the middle of my adversity of cancer to get that degree. So I'll be down with someone else being called that and they're like below average or average. I don't care how much wisdom they have. They don't deserve it. You shouldn't be comfortable of even saying that, right? And I understand we're trying to live in this world where everyone is inclusive, right? But inclusivity has to have excellence, standard of excellence. Otherwise, would you have someone operate with you because they're being called a doctor when they don't have the experience, the knowledge, the know-how, the structure, the education? background to do that? Really? I don't think so. Just think about it, okay? And I also don't like people when they say that they know all the answers and they did this because they've been doing this for whatever years. You can always learn from other people. Heck, I learned from my bulldog. She's 6 years old, right? I learn from an ant when I'm watching. They have a queen bee, but guess what? All ants doesn't have like, oh, I'm not touching that rice that you're gonna move 2 kilometers because I'm a CFO ant. Oh no, I'm a CEO ant. Oh no, no one cares. An ant is an ant, and they're there together to get move one piece of rice to their queen bee, right? But what does that mean, CJ? Hello, I'm lost with the conversation. It means it doesn't matter what your title are. What it means is that if you have the ability to be more, to do more, then show up more. But stop having people, okay, to carry you, or stop telling people what to do. I've heard people too, oh, don't go in this one because I'm doing this one. Stop. It's really annoying. It's obnoxious. Either you do something for the community that is positive or go away. I'm serious. Go away. Because 2025, I'm coming after you. That's for sure. I am so done with this and that and this and that out of inclusive. No, please. Let's be inclusive based on skills and abilities, but have a standard of excellence. In order for you to level up, you need to reflect on your own self, right? This is not insecurity talking. This is irritation talking when people just feels the need to be there. I'm just saying. But you know what? Before I get into trouble, I'm going to stop talking here and I'm going to bring my sister up. Sister, what say you?
You get into trouble? I mean, I'm agreeing with everything you say. Are we going hoods?
I think it's so cute with a hood. I mean, I wanted my sister to sing, but she's like, sing? What? No. What?
What's that?
No. I know. I was like, what is happening? Okay.
You
So
never know.
today we had this conversation, right?
Mhm.
And let's see who is here. Erica, woohoo! Thank you so much for being here. Happy day. All right. Chan. I remember he said he's into the entertainment industry, right?
Right. Yep.
Yes. And of course,
Malaysia.
our sister Danielle is here. Love you guys. Hello, Leo. That was a cute smile pictures. I love those.
Leo.
I know, I love it. So here's what I'm going to thank you, Chan, for saying that. Okay. So we had a couple of people, Abimbola, Ludwig came in, Rochelle, Ollie, Cyrus, Timothy, Chan, Blessings, Erica, Dr. Anjon, Bridget, Sean, and Nesibwa. So we're going to actually ask you guys a question. What would you be writing? Since there's the two of you here tonight, what would you guys be writing about for your anthology, really, in March? What are some of the things that you would be writing? I am curious. And sister, what are you thinking of writing?
I might actually go for a genre story.
Hmm.
That I can still talk about belonging in, but create a story instead of the more direct route that we get in the other anthologies.
So, what kind of story would that be? I really am thinking of like having to write about Cheerio and what I've learned from my English bulldog, like leadership skills that I've learned from my English bulldog and business skills. I think that's interesting. I've been reflecting on it, and the attitude definitely is the number one. The having that I don't care attitude if you're gonna do this, but also that sweetness and kindness when she dedicate and hyper focus on you, no matter how irritable sometimes she is and demanding she is, because she does give you full love, full attention. Everything seems to just melt away. Like imagine if Sister Danielle, she always go people should just go at it and make decisions out of love. She always says that, right? But imagine if we did use Sister Danielle's conversation of and thought process and viewpoints, like everything that we do is always out of love, no matter what, no matter what. Enemy, friends, best friends, whatever, no matter what, we just go with love.
Mhm.
That even if we're irritating sometimes to people, maybe we're more tolerable because we do everything out of love. Like that's my theory. What are your thoughts on that?
The everything out of love makes such a big difference because it actually tempers how you say things. You're you're thinking about other people, and even if you're not totally cognizant of it, when we do it from love, we're still thinking about how our words are going to come across, how what we say is might be taken by somebody else, as opposed to, well, like you began with, you well, you should do this. That's not thinking about the person. That's just like, you have to do this. And I think we've both kind of figured out, when somebody's that way, they tend to go the opposite direction, because just because they say doesn't mean that, if it doesn't resonate, it's meaningless. That's really what it comes down to. I've run into that, and when somebody's trying to say, you need to do this, you should do this, if something feels, even that approach, if something feels right about what they're saying, then I might. But if I'm not getting a good vibe out of it, F no. It's like, I'm done. I am not going to listen to you. And quite frankly, that approach makes me trust their comments less going forward. Their value and their input is going to drop, because I don't feel a situation of, there's no collaboration in that. Definitely not collaboration. It's competition, and they're basically telling you, you're not good enough. You're not. They're telling you, you're not fill in the blank. I'm. I've had enough of that. I've seen enough of that. I've dealt with it all my life, and I'm done with those boxes.
No more boxes. I think we should like have a session where we create really beautiful boxes and then we put like a collage of like beautiful words or hurtful words, and then we take a little bat and just go, I'm done with boxes, and like literally smash it. I think that's totally marketing. Like that would be so cool, right? I mean, I don't know, that's just my
That
thoughts on it.
that was my motto coming into 2022, was no more boxes. And I shifted it to beyond boxes, because unfortunately this world has a desire to stick everybody in a box. And when that's what's going on, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to just say no more on the boxes, and to find a different approach to it. And quite frankly, I like this approach better, for move beyond the boxes, because we stick ourselves in boxes at times, and need that help to ignite the awareness and move on.
I love what Erica says here. She says, I would write about how I created Thrive Plan after losing a child and all the people around me. Ooh, I'm so interested in that. I'm a sucker for a good story, Erica. Just want to let you know. Yeah, MD Asman says, yes, I support you. Thank you. I'm so excited to share it because it changed my life, and the Thrive Plan really does share a proactive way of living. Yes, you actually fit into what Susanna and I are planning to do for 2025, Erica, which is um, living by design, meaning like we need to design our life the way we want. and we need to have intentions, right? And be accountable and not be full of excuses. That's going to be the hard part because we like to give excuses to everything that we do. Some are valid though, like right now my throat is hurting and I don't even know how I lectured like the whole week. I did not feel good. I had migraines. I drove like so long, 8 hours last week to come back, and it's been hard. Like I haven't been home, and so like my throat's been hurting, but I show up anyway because I love people and I love to help others. And you showing up for people and inspiring them like, hey, this works for me, I love it. Because our first book actually was Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Gray Zone. And sister, I was actually reflecting on it. I was actually reflecting and said, we went forwards to be backwards. Think about it. We live a life against the grain and finding that belonging, right, in a world of resistance. So,
Mm.
what do we do when we find that belonging in the world of resistance? We rebel with a cause. That's why we're rebel with a cause. In order for you to rebel with a cause, you have to move beyond that boxes. When you go beyond the boxes, then you thrive in the gray zone. So we basically move backwards to move forward. I love it. And it's so weird, the subconscious mind and how powerful our minds are, where we collected all this theme and it works so well linearly. Like, what? We didn't even plan on doing that. Right? I mean, we didn't plan on, like, literally, once we think about it, like in that month, you're like, yep, we think about the title now. And like I never even really think about all this title until now. I'm reflecting and sitting down. I'm like, wait, that totally works.
It totally works. Well, most of the time I've been going forward because I can talk about how we move beyond how we go beyond boundaries because we have these boundaries. Um, and the thing is, at times I see that as being the sequel to the next book, which was moving beyond boxes, because you need to understand what the box is to move beyond it, and then once you do that, you can move. You can go beyond those boundaries, and when you are moving beyond those boundaries, you become a rebel with a cause. And once you're a rebel with a cause, that means you're going against the grain to find belonging in a world of resistance that's resisting you. It's like we can take them. I've always been doing that, but I love the way you just did it, taking it the other way around, because it fits. It fits actually better that way than
Mm-hmm.
than the other. But they both work because I use them both, and we never know what the title's going to be. And what's beautiful about Against the Grain is in this particular book, even though you sent me the title, I was able to say, go to page such and such, this paragraph, this sentence, and tell me what it says.
Yeah,
And
but it's weird because I edit your paper subconsciously. I think I already saw the freaking word and I wasn't paying attention, right? Like I wasn't paying attention, but I like succession and structure. You know this. So it technically subliminal messages works from you. Okay? And then I just added finding belonging because you talk about belonging and I'm like, let's go. And that's one thing that I love is when you work with people that have the same energy, the same synergy, the value system, it just works. It literally just does. So Erica said, actually, let me go back. Erica said, yes, I start every encounter by saying happy day because that is what will occur, or I will choose to discontinue the interaction. I love that. Choice is everything, right?
yes.
So Chan says, would write to inspire upcoming and wannabe actors and actresses to enter into entertainment industry with zero knowledge and experience. You know what? I'm loving that too. What do you think?
Well, yeah, because how many people they put everything off until they have the experience, or they have it's just like people that are writing. So many of them they don't feel like they can write because they don't know what to say. They haven't had the experience of it. And quite frankly, you don't need the experience of it to be successful. You just need to start. And once you start doing it, and I see this with what Chan is talking about too, once you start, once you step into that space, you're not trying to fit into that space. You're stepping into that space to see how it feels, to see if you belong. And once you get that feel, you're trying something new. You go into it as yourself, try something new. And in this case, do that with the entertainment industry. If it's something that you wanted to do, you go in and try it. You don't try to fit in, you go in as yourself and see what happens.
Al, can I do a zombie movie? I really want to do that.
Ah, there she goes.
I want a zombie movie. I don't care. I want to be like an extra zombie cheerleader who got murdered, but like I want to die slowly though. Like I don't want to be like bomb dead. Like I want to have some type of like oh, like some
You want
type.
the drama.
Yeah, I like drama. I'm dramatic as it is. Like I want that. Hey Homer,
You
magandang
drama?
Pasko, maligayang Pasko, Homer, Philippines. Oh my gosh. Wait, what'd he say? The sense of belonging is being with a great community and collaborating together in cohesiveness. Yes, that is what we're trying to create, right? Like, it doesn't matter. I love technology because we don't have to be in the same exact room to actually collaborate. We don't even have to be in the same exact state or country for that matter, right? And Sister Danielle is here. Everything out of love, exactly, right? It's sometimes hard to really love someone that you don't like, really. And so what helps me is, and Sister Susana have seen this, I focus on the project rather than the person.
Yep.
Because if I focus on the person, I have murderous thoughts in my head, and it's not healthy for the person or for me. Actually, the person don't even know, right? So, oh wow, okay, we're we're having no lights. But I love the conversation of, hey, let's go ahead and take it up notch on making sure that when we do certain things, it's out of love. When we do it out of love, we can actually create inclusive type of community, right? And I also want to know, guys, what how do you define inclusive excellence? And I think Erica already kind of said, like, hey, I say happy day, but if it's not gonna happen, then I kind of just discontinue and move on. I love that because you actually created boundaries for yourself, and you are saying, I'm only going to accept reciprocity in this energy level. I need to be you there. I think I'm still at that people pleasing moments of my life, and I'm trying to, because I think I was at 90% people pleaser, and then this year I just kind of turn off. And here's the thing: when you stop being a people pleaser, people hate you. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it to people hated me because I need to love myself. I don't need to love people and hate myself. That's how I feel. When you people please, you put others and their thoughts and their love and their everything before yourself, and then you end up being hurt because you have that expectations. But if you go out with your own boundaries and you don't have any expectations, then of course you don't get hurt. Unless of course it's a business and I'm paying you. Yes, I definitely have expectations, and if you don't meet it, it's done and over with, right? What are your thoughts on that, sister?
Well, I'm in agreement on that, and I would say I've had that same situation with the people pleasing and getting to that point to say I'm done, and understanding too when you walk into a situation that it's it has that potential to take you backwards in time because maybe there's been a break or something, and then there's a chance that you could slide back into the past. Having the awareness, and I was just having a message with somebody else on this too, having the awareness of what the past was like, how you really are now to be authentic, means you have to steel yourself to not let the past become the future.
Mm.
Not fall into the trap of you see somebody you haven't seen for a while and you just slide back into how things used to be, because that means you didn't grow anymore. If you're going to grow, you have to be your authentic self, and you have to slow down on the people pleasing. Let it go. The same goes, and we've talked about this for everything. Yes, I saw the song get started. I know what's happening every time I say that one, but we need that ability. It's in business, it's in families, it's in relationships across the board. If you've grown and then you walk back and you see somebody that you haven't seen since before that growing period, as long as you can stay aware of what you've accomplished to get to where you are now, then you can make sure you don't slide back. And that actually fits in the excellence piece as well. You're being inclusive for yourself. You're making sure to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, there's no way you can take care of anybody else.
Yeah.
Don't tell me people pleasing is taking care of somebody else, because it's killing you.
Yeah. And that's what I love about what Erica says. If you're a people pleaser, you have to ask yourself, are you pleased as well? More likely the answer will be no, right? I think also like it's easy for us to say stop being a people pleaser. Easy said than done because of the fact that your environment, how you grow up, how maybe it has something to do with culture, right? With
Right.
Eastern culture, with East Asian, we always please family first before yourself, no matter what. It doesn't matter. You could be dying, you still have to please your family. Like it, you could put yourself in peril and you still have to put your family first more than you. That's just how Eastern cultures are. So to unf your brain because you already grew up in that culture, it's really difficult. But as you grow older, as you mature into an age, I feel like 40s is the mature age where you start thinking about what makes you happy, what makes you contented. And then running into your 50s, you're like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need. And in 60s, just like, F everything. I want this, period. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where the age kind of like slowly get in there. But in your 60s, if you feel like you're still not doing what you want, you're like, middle finger, middle finger, middle finger. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, that's good. Nope, middle finger, middle. Like, I just feel like when you're in your 60s, I've seen my mother do it. Like she is all about family. And then as soon as she turns like at that age, she's like, nope, nope, nope. She says no to everything. I'm like, wow, mom, I kind of like the version of you right now. Like you actually have that boundary. But I think also you lose people. And when you lose people, don't feel bad because they're not supposed to be part of your life when they can't be supportive of your own changes and your own leveling up. So I love that question. Homer says, love that, Susanna. Growth mindset. Yes, you have to do growth mindset. Now, let's switch to inclusive excellence, right?
In a minute, I'm going to say one other thing, because what you just described, going through the 40s, 50s, and 60s,
Uh-huh.
especially 40s, I wonder if you actually just identified the midlife crisis everybody talks about. If that is really, as you were speaking, that's what went through my head. Was we talk about how people change or whatever at that point, and what you said, it's like, I wonder if that's
Well, I
actually
think
the
that's
midlife.
menopause. Not that's definitely menopause or perimenopause or andropause for male. See, when you say midlife, like no one, I don't believe in like midlife crisis. I don't even know who coined that term. Is because how do you know you're in midlife? Like you could die at 50. Your midlife would have been 25, right?
It's
I feel
just
like
happens
based,
at 40.
yeah,
It happens in the 40s.
I
That's
don't
why.
believe in midlife crisis. I believe in perimenopause and andropause. When your brain cells just depleted, you're like, oh Jesus, I need a brain booster. I can't remember anything. My daughter's like, Mom, I told you. I'm like, told me what? It's not on the text. Because I can't remember. And it's not that, it's just my, and then you add ADHD in there, it's just a whole convoluted stuff. I am excited though. We have enough people here, sister, that we could literally give everyone, most of everyone, a chance to write with us. Like, how exciting would that be? Erica, I think you said you are an author already, right? Can you tell us exactly like a synopsis or a summary of what you wrote and how long ago was it? And I also want to know if it was a self-published book or was it traditionally published? And Al, I also want to do the same. If you're still here, I want to know if you have published it traditionally or if you have published it self-published, or it's like, you know what, I've never published. This would be a great start for my career to do something else other than acting in the entertainment industry. I would love that. I would love to know. Yes, I feel like when I turned 40, I just made it to the promised land after being in the desert for 40 years. Oh, see? I tell ya, like you have this epiphany. You're like, nope, nope. Like it's just so weird how that works. Good loving DS conversation, right, Homer? Homer, don't you want to write with us too? I promised the brother actually in December that he would write, but I know he got busy. But I would love for Homer to, I want more Filipinos actually, and invite other Filipinos to really join the conversation. Susana, by the way, is Filipino. You just don't know it. Just FYI, everyone's a dub Filipino. If you're caring, if you're loving, if you love community and you love people, then you must be part Filipino. Just saying. And we love that. Not yet new to writing. Ooh, this is exciting. So, that is so amazing actually to know about that. Also, how long have you been in the entertainment industry? And and I know some people when they're writing, if English is not your first language, you have trepidations, but don't worry, we got you. We got you. I feel like singing like Let It Go. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I hate that when it gets like on my brain.
Do you want to go back to the inclusive excellence?
Yes, because we're gonna be ending soon. Not yet, new to writing. Hello, hello, MD. Love you back. Okay, so let's talk about inclusive excellence because I'm really irritated and I shouldn't be, but it gives off the wrong impression. It doesn't really bother me to the point you're like, oh my God, I'm not being petty. I just think that there's so many people who really worked hard for their um degrees and for their skills to be recognized at that, and then some people just swoop through and start naming people that don't deserve it. How do you feel about that?
Well, you're not a doctor unless you've completed the education. And I get it. There are those who want to say they're a doctor of life, but that's not the same. You're either the medical doctor and you've gotten your medical doctor's degree, you've completed doctor school, not a master's in whatever. And on the educational side, I can't say that I'm a doctor because I have not done a doctoral program. I've done 2 master's programs, and so I have extensive knowledge and training. But the other thing we talked about is no matter what level you're at, if you're going to be at excellence, you're going to keep on learning. And if you, and so to me, as I'm thinking about this, even if you're a doctor, you're going to, especially if you're a doctor, you're going to keep learning. You're going to keep looking for more ideas. You're going to want to know more. You're not going to sit there and say, you should do this because I know what I'm talking about. No, if you are a true doctor, that means you're not done learning. You're not done listening to other people and getting new ideas and finding ways to reformulate new ideas into what you know to create even more knowledge and to be able to help people even further. to just sit on your laurels of, I've been doing this for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, however many years, and say that makes me the expert and accept being a doctor. It doesn't count. It's not worth it, because you're not in a learning process. You're in a stagnation process. And doctors should not stagnate. They should grow. They should level up and work on the new skills and see what they can do that is better than what they're doing now. What is new out there that they can incorporate to help people more, to increase their knowledge so that they can assist people better.
Yes, and I love that conversation because to us, right, when you are it's rigorous program, not just medical doctor, PhDs, DBAs, JDs, even lawyers, right? Can you imagine like I'm represented with somewhat of a lawyer because he uses Chat GPT to argue. Are you kidding me right now? Right? No, seriously. That's literally what you're saying. Oh, I'm prompt engineering. Prompt engineering, by the way, literally is all about knowing the right questions to ask your chat GPT. It's like training a dragon, except you're training chat GPT. And when you say prompt engineering, it's a fancy word of saying, I know how to ask questions because I've learned how to ask questions. That's all it means. Fancy smancy word. This is so funny. uh, Chan, so yes and yes. So not just libido, but also mood swings and irritable. So reflect on yourself. Like sometimes you're irritable and you have no reason why. Like sometimes once a month it comes for us, for men too. And you have mood swings and you're like, I don't know why. And I want to suddenly want to buy this big thing that I don't know what's happening. Or sometimes you lose the muscle mass, reduce your ability to exercise, right? That's when you're getting weight. Like I'm a mom of two. I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. So I feel like a mom floaty comes out, and then you also have like developing like a belly or a man belly or man, this part, right? Lack of enthusiasm and energy, difficulty of sleeping, poor concentration and short memory. I don't know if that kind of resonates with you, but literally that resonates with me. And I'm not even a man, but that's why we have perimenopause, and you can actually go with that between 15 to 20 years. I wish Lisa was here to explain a little bit more in terms of food as well, but
Yep.
it is so funny. It is just like it's so crazy. Thank you, Homer. Start acting since 2012. Awesome. I would love to see what kind of movies you're in. Love your outfit, you two queens. I want to see Sir Mike wearing that too cute. Oh my god. This is a dress with tutu. I don't even
Yeah.
know if I it is. Oh my god, seriously. I'm mad now. My other hair went down in here and Chi Chi just took it all upon herself to try to wear it. I swear I'm gonna take a picture of her with my other wig. But like guys, not gonna flash you or anything, don't worry. But look, it's a tutu. Can you imagine wearing Mike with a fuffy and a tutu? That would be so funny. I would love that. You know what? I think I'm gonna ask Mike to wear one of these, and I can give him my Lua hat. Ooh, how do you like them? Challenge. He's not even here. We're talking crap about him. Oh my gosh, Homer, I love their outfits too. Right? Oh my gosh, yes, it is so cute. My mom of two. Mabait mahal. Oh, thank you, Homer. He's speaking in Tagalog. He goes, "My mom of two, but maganda means pretty, and mabait means nice, and God loves me." Thank you, Homer. I love you too. I love giving back to our community. Before we end, because we have to end, this is a TV network. That means your comments, actually, because you're on YouTube, it shows up here. If you're on LinkedIn, it doesn't show up because it's a different platform. So, couple of days from now, I don't know about the holidays. Sometimes it takes 3 days. If you go to Apple TV, if you have Apple TV or Roku, download the app E360 and then find Fresh Takes, and you'll see your comments on our TV show, by the way. So just FYI, because we do have TV on Thursday and also on Sunday. So you see that app right there where Susanna is? This is E360 TV right here. That is the app that you can find us in for the TV. Sister, are you ready? Your fingers are like, where is it? Um, I'm feeling that I think all three, Homer and Chan and Erica, should have a chance to write with us. What do you think? Yes. Did you guys hear that? I cannot wait. So, we're going to have a class on writing. If you are already a writer, guys, you are going to be learning new things. And I'm hoping that we will be able to work together. So, in January, watch out for those dates. We're going to give you the dates and you are going to log in. It's usually a Saturday at 9 a.m. So, I will send you guys a
Pacific time.
yeah, I will send you guys a heads up to make sure that you're on the first Zoom. I don't even think I put the first Zoom date yet because it is a bit far away. So, yes, welcome to Level Up Team. Yes, I know. Chan, Homer, and Erica. Thank you so much
Yay!
here. Now, I do want to know your opinion and thoughts in terms of inclusive excellence. If you guys could type it in there. What do you think about people who claim to be something but nothing? Here's the problem: everyone wants to be inclusive because it's a trend, but no one now has a standard of excellence. That means if we are hanging out with average thinkers, I hate to say that, but there are people who's satisfied to just be a lemming and listen to whatever TikTok or news said rather than research it on their own to really get a grasp of what is happening. There's so many misinformation disseminated everywhere. You need to dig deep, right? Really, I encourage everyone's for critical thinking. um if we're going to be lemmings and sheep to try to find this information, whatever the world's happening right now, and we follow that, what are we doing? We're not going up. We're all kind of there because we want all to be the same. But let me ask you this: if you were dying on the table right now in the hospital, do you want somebody who specializes on COVID because you have COVID, maybe, or you have an emergency, you need a heart surgeon? Do you want to be just anybody in the hospital opening because we're inclusive, everyone's a doctor somehow because they're in the hospital? Answer that question, because then we are living in a world where there's no more standard of excellence. Everyone's the same because everyone wants to be the same. That's what I'm saying. Inclusivity does not mean the same. It just means you're given the right tools, you're
Mhm.
given all the same opportunities, but it is up to you to have that standard of excellence of motivation. But our standard of excellence should never move. Should never move. It should stay up here. How do we level up? How do we level up if everyone is the same? And by the way, we're not created equal that way. Our motivation is different. We're created equal in the ways that we have the ability to do whatever we want if you really want it. But your motivation, my motivation, Susanna's motivation is different. But we are given the same tools and the same opportunities right now to be here and show up. This is what I'm saying. If you want it bad enough, you would show up. And only two of you guys showed up out of these people. So you get it. We don't even have to pick. It's there. That's so amazing. Thank you for showing up. I am twerking in a circle. Send me a DM. I want to see that twerking in a circle. I promise I won't put it on Instagram. Oh, Erica, I love it. Oh, Chan is speaking Tagalog. Maraming salamat. Oh my God, yes. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat means thank you very much. Yes, let's do this. So, what are your thoughts, guys, before we close in? Sister, give me a quote, a favorite quote that you have in terms of 2024. What is the quote?
Oh, in terms of this past year, actually, I'm just going to go with my motto, and that's I'm not what I used to be, yet I am who I've always been. It's the best way to get through the year. It's the best way to be your authentic self. And that's part of what this past year has been, is being authentic and moving forward.
I love it. For me, I think I'd say 2024 is the year that I redefined success. I created something out of nothing, not by the decision that I did alone, but by how many others uplift me along the way. because I have some crazy ideas all the time. But if without the support of my sisters, Danielle and Susanna, um, I don't know if I would have moved as fast as I could. I probably would, but I'd be struggling because I do still have self doubt sometimes. Not on my process. I'm pretty discerning on my process. I know my process like nobody's business. I don't even question my streamline. I've done it all my life. What I question is the outcome. And I think I need to work on my expectations. I preach and I don't do what I preach. Don't have expectations, and I have these huge expectations that I get let down. And I really want to run in the cave, and unplug everything on Publicity Hub, because I just get let down with people who are not kind, who are abusers of kindness. And I don't see it as a weakness, I see it as an adversity and a learning pattern for me to grow as well on, honing in on my gut intuition, and also
Yep.
limiting people who, um, doesn't belong in my head and kindness level yet, right? So my kindness is always at level 10. I don't know how to show up. I go big or I go home. That's just my mantra on anything that I do. And so if I'm that and I go all out 110%, but you give me 60%, I see what you're doing. But when it's compounding like that, um, it hurts my heart, and I want to give up life, because it's like I'm not doing it for me. In fact, I'm giving resources, including my time and my money, to give to people, but they don't realize like why. But then I always ask, well, God doesn't want me to do that. God wants me to show up for me, for others. It's not for me, it's for others. But sometimes I think I forget that, and thank God for my sisters to kind of reel me back in.
It's easy to forget that. But when we sit here and go, what I love is we're able to see, and it's become clearer throughout the year which people were just there, and making sure that the ones who were always the most difficult were the ones that got. It's like, I don't want to say anything to dissuade anybody that just got in, but the ones that were usually the most difficult ones were the ones that didn't show gratitude. They didn't support. They didn't. They just weren't there in many ways. And but I think we felt that going into it, and I don't feel any of that right now. So
Yeah, I love it. I love what Erica says. Inclusive excellence means that I hold true to my values of growth, integrity, intimacy, and freedom. I live in my vision, and I gravitate to people who are of excellence. I love that. Never lower your standards. I won't lower my standards for anybody. Um, Everything for my thriving flows to me. Woo woot. Chance like inclusivity needs to have high standards of experts or expertise, and being focused on what you're best at. Yes, I'm best at being crazy. That's for sure. I'm gonna stay crazy.
and taking me with you.
Right. Our sister Danielle, love you, sisters. Sister, are you okay now? I think she might have bronchitis. And thank you guys so much for being here. And I will DM you. I will be putting together a group for the writing, so you'll have the dates, when the classes are, because we do have classes. And I know some of these time zones might be really bad. I hope it's gonna work for you, Chan, but it's the same time today, but it's like at 9 a.m. PST. Right now it's 7:55 p.m. here, and we are gonna go. But I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and congratulations. Bye, everybody.
Yay!
See ya.